Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. Again, my name is Julia and I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School. Here for Teaching in Room 9, all my lessons focus on math for second graders, but everyone is always encouraged to join. Welcome back, friends. I hope that you're having a really good week, and hopefully with all of the practice that we've been doing together here with both geometric and number patterns, you're starting to feel really confident in this skill. I'm also hoping that throughout our time here together that I could maybe get you to, if you already enjoy doing math, maybe I can get you to enjoy it even more. Or if you didn't really feel so confident in being able to do math problems before, my hope is that you feel more confident and gain some tools and different strategies that you guys can use to help stretch your math brain, find these patterns and relationships between different math concepts, and hopefully you'll start to enjoy math a little bit more. All right, so we always start our lessons with the mindful minute. We like to start our lessons this way so that we can recenter our bodies, focus our brain and our bodies, really take a moment to slow down and be very present in that moment. How is your body feeling? How are you? What are some thoughts that you might be having? Do you notice any pains or stress or tension throughout your body in different places? So we are going to do some mindful breathing, and then we're going to do some stretching exercises because we've been talking about how patterns, they go on and on and on. So we've been doing some different rolling stretching exercises. First we were rolling our neck, then we rolled our shoulders. Last times we rolled our wrists. This time you're going to roll your ankles. All right, friends, are you ready to get started? Okay, so we're going to take our deep breaths here together. I always tell my friends at home to make sure if you're sitting down to sit up nice and straight. So this way, as you're taking those deep breaths, you really open up your diaphragm, and that allows all that air to enter and leave your lungs as you're inhaling and exhaling. So I always sit up nice and straight, and then I immediately will stretch out my shoulders, stretch out my neck a little bit, and I'll get ready to do some deep breaths. Again, I like to close my eyes when I'm doing deep mindful breathing. So that way it helps me to block everything else out around me and just focus on my breathing. Okay, so we're gonna take a deep breath in through our nose, counting to 3. Out through your mouth, counting to 3. Again, breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, and out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3. Again, breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, and out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3. Notice all the different parts of your body. Maybe you want to start with your head, work your way down to your toes. Are you feeling any tension or pressure or maybe some stress in certain areas of your body? Is your body trying to tell you anything? My body's trying to tell me right now that I'm starting to feel kind of hungry. Okay, and really focus on how your chest will rise and fall as all that air enters your lungs and then leaves your lungs every time you inhale and exhale. So keep taking those deep breaths. This time though, instead of stretching out your arms and your wrists, you're going to stretch out your feet. So even though you can't see my feet right now, I am stretching my feet. I'm going to point my toes all the way forward. So I'm going to breathe in through my nose, counting to 3, and I'm going to lift my legs up so that way you can feel that stretch in your calf and in your legs. So breathe in, and your toes are going to point up like this, and kind of try to point them back towards your body. Breathe in and out. Slowly move them forward and try to point your toes as far forward as you can, just like a ballerina. Okay, breathe in again. Bringing your toes towards your body. Feel that stretch in your calves, and breathe out. Reaching your toes like a ballerina. Last time, breathe in and out. Roll roll those ankles. Right now I'm rolling my ankles this way. Ooh, sorry. And then roll your ankles the other way as well. Clearly I kicked my table on accident. All right, how are we feeling, friends? My legs are feeling way looser. All that tension is gone and I am really focused and ready to learn. All right, so we always start just by reminding us what is our learning goal or objective for this lesson, and all of our learning goals for the last week and this week have been, pardon me, I can look for and make patterns. And again, we are just practicing this skill where we are looking for and making patterns, and that trains our math brain to be able to see these relationships between patterns. Then we can tell if they're increasing or decreasing, if it's a repeating pattern or a growing pattern. But it really helps to train our brain to kind of see those relationships between numbers or shapes. And I know that as soon as you start looking for patterns, you're going to see them everywhere, because patterns literally are everywhere. You can find patterns on flags, on animals, in games, on clothes, all sorts of different things. So, all right, we are going to do our number song, of course. This is our last time singing our pattern song together, so it's a little bit sad for me, but I hope that by now you guys are able to sing along with me and you know it by heart, and it helps you to always remember learning about different patterns, whether it's geometric patterns or number patterns. So we're gonna do that. Then we'll just really briefly review our chart again today with all that super important vocabulary. And then we're gonna spend the rest of our time trying to fill out the rest of this growing patterns sheet that we've been working on each day. All right, are you guys ready? So our pattern song is to the tune of The Ants Go Marching. All right, last time, so I need to hear you singing really nice and loud and clear at home, okay? All right, let's make it count. Let's make it a good one. A pattern, it goes on and on, hurrah, hurrah. A pattern, it goes on and on, hurrah, hurrah. A pattern, it goes on and on. It could be shapes or numbers too. And when we solve the pattern rule, then we can extend, bum, bum, bum. A pattern can be growing or repeating. A pattern can be growing or repeating. A pattern can be growing where you add on more and more each time, or the pattern will repeat in all these ways, bum, bum, bum. Number pattern that's repeating can increase. A number pattern that's repeating could decrease. A number pattern when you add or subtract the same each time is a repeating pattern that will go up or down, bum, bum, bum. A number pattern that is growing can increase. A number pattern that is growing could decrease. A number pattern that is growing, you'll add on more each time, or you will subtract more each time, bum, 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 bum. Yay, nice job. I can tell all my friends at home were singing so nice and loud, and they knew all the words by heart at this point in time. Woo, we practiced that song a lot, and you guys nailed it. Way to go. All right, now that we're feeling nice and loose, we're centered, we're focused, we did some singing together. Now we're gonna jump back over to our number patterns chart, and we'll review some of that vocab, and then we'll move on to practicing growing patterns. You guys ready? Okay, so number patterns, patterns with numbers. Instead of last week when we focused on geometric patterns with shapes. We're just gonna go through each little quadrant here and then touch on the vocab. So increasing, is that getting bigger or getting smaller? You are so smart. Increasing gets bigger and decreasing gets smaller. In order to increase, you have to add more each time. And then we said that we're practicing this so well so that we feel super confident and comfortable with it, so that when you get into third grade and up, you will start adding multiplication and division to this as well. So increasing is getting bigger and you add. And repeating means you add the same number each time. Okay, so here we had 3, 6, 9, 12, and then we realized our pattern rule was we were adding 3 each time. Then we extended by adding on 3 more to 12, and that gave us 15. Then we came down here and we had 5, 10, 15, 20, and I knew right away that we were skip counting by 5s. So our pattern rule was that we were adding 5 each time. So we added 5 onto 20, giving us 25. So again, increasing gets bigger and you add. Decreasing gets smaller and you subtract or take away. So over here, decreasing and repeating. So we are getting smaller and taking away. So here it was 50, 43, 36, 27. And again, we looked through it, we solved, we went through each piece, and we realized we were taking away 7 each time. So then we took away 7 from 27, and that gave us 20. So we were again taking away the same number each time because it is a repeating pattern. And then we looked at this one here, and it was 20, 18, 16, 14, 12. So we realized right away, just from knowing skip counting by 2s and noticing that all these numbers were even numbers, that we were taking away 2 each time. So if we took away 2, it gave us 18, 16, 14. Then you take away 2 from 14, and that gives you 12, right? 13, 12. So that's why we added our 12 right there. And then coming down to this side, we are increasing again, so we are getting bigger, and so we are adding. But this time, the pattern is growing. It's not repeating, so we're adding more each time. The amount that we're adding, that number gets bigger and bigger, instead of being the same like in a repeating pattern. So here it was 2, 4, 7, 11, and since we weren't sure right off the bat, we went through each piece. 2 to 4, I realized I was adding 2, right? Because 2 plus 2 is 4 altogether. Then I realized from 4 to 3, adding on is 7. So I was adding 2, and then I was adding 3. Then 7 to 11, 7 plus 4 was 11. So first I added 2, then 3, then 4. So we realized our pattern was going up by 1 each time. So we, instead of adding 4, the next time we added 5. So 11 plus 5 is 16. Then we came down here and we saw it was 10, 15, 25, and then 40. So we're noticing too, because we're so super smart mathematicians, that we noticed that all of the ones digit was either a 0 or a 5. So we figured it was kind of going up by 5s. So then we looked at it more closely to be able to see that we were correct. First it went up by 5, then it went up by 10, then it went up by 15. So we knew that in order to extend, we had to add 20. So 20 plus 40 was, 60. And that's why you have that right there. And then decreasing, growing. So we are taking away, but it is a growing pattern. So the number that we are taking away each time is getting bigger and bigger. So that's why it's decreasing, but growing. So here, 43, 41, 38, 34. We realized that we were taking away 2, and then we were taking away 3, and then we were taking away 4. So then we had to take away 5. So it was 34, take away 5 is 29. Nice job. And then we came down to here. It was 100, 90, 70, and 40. So 100 to 90, we had to take away 10. Then 90 to 70, we took away 20. So first it was 10, then it was 20. And then from 70 to 40, we took away 30. So it was 10, 20, 30. So we knew that in order to extend, we had to take away 40. Nice job. And then again, looking at this, we see 40. If I had to take away 40, that gives me 0 left. So our pattern ends there. We don't extend past 40 because we took away 40, that gave us 0, unless we wanted to go into negative numbers, and that's a totally different topic. So we're just gonna look at this vocab really quick. Again, we wanna practice our vocab so we know what all of these different terms mean. And that way we feel super confident when we come to a math problem to understand what it is that it's asking us. So again, geometric patterns are shape patterns. And then number patterns are all these awesome different patterns with numbers that we've been practicing. Growing. That is when you add on more each time, so it is increasing, or you take away more each time, so it is decreasing. And then again, so you see decreasing, taking away, the numbers are getting smaller, and increasing, the numbers are getting bigger. Increasing, decreasing, bigger and smaller. Repeating is going to be the same number each time. So we're adding or subtracting the same number each time. Extending the pattern is once we figure out what the pattern rule is, we're able to extend. And then the last word is arrange. And that's how you put together your patterns. So hopefully you guys are able to practice putting together some patterns at home, and you can arrange them in any way that you like. Sometimes you could arrange patterns by numbers, increasing, decreasing numbers, shape patterns. We went through all those different patterns that we practiced. Remember, it was like A, B, A, B, A, B, B, all those different ways. You can arrange patterns by size, shape, color, textures, all sorts of different things. But however you choose to arrange your pattern, that is how you are able to develop or get your pattern rule. All right, friends. So we are going to pop right back to the sheets that we have been working on together. Okay, we also had talked about, I'm not going to go through each one again, but I do want to remind you that sometimes in number patterns, you're just looking at the numbers. So like here, we realized in this first one that we did, it was 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we saw that it was starting over at 1 again and just getting bigger each time. So we added on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And kind of a similar idea for the second one, it was just dealing with the numbers, not the amounts. So it was 5, then 1 6, 5, then 2 6s, 5, then 3 6s. So then we extended 5, 4 6s, 5, 5 6s. So if that makes sense there. Okay, and then the last one that we saw together last time was this third one, which we realized was actually one of the ones that I used here on my chart, which I didn't even realize. So we saw that it was adding one more each time, because again, all these patterns are growing patterns, not repeating. So it was adding 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we extended, we added on 5, and that gave us 16. We added on 6, that gave us 22. We added on 7, that gave us 29. We added on 8, that gave us 37. We added on 9, it gave us 46. And then we added on 10, which gave us 56. Nice job. You guys are doing so good with this. Okay, so now we're gonna come down to here, number 4. So I'm gonna hold it closer so you guys can see. So we have 2, 4, 8, 14, 22, 32. So my math brain is already starting to make some observations about our numbers. 2, 4, 8, 14, 22. They're all even numbers, right? So let's just take it. So I know it's probably going to be adding like some type of even number, but let's go through each part and then we'll see if our prediction is correct. So in order to get from 2 to 4, how many do you need to add? You got it. You add 2. Then in order to get from 4 to 8, how many do you need to add? You are right. So first we added 2, then we added 4, right? Because 4 plus 4 is 8. I always know all my doubles facts. That's a great way to practice your fact fluency, is practicing doubles. 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8. Now, and I thought at first that maybe we were doubling it, but then we're gonna continue looking at it and I see that that's not right. So 8 to 14. If you're doubling it, 8 and 8 is 16. So it's 14, so I know that's not right. But I am adding even numbers each time. First I added 2, then I added 4. Now, how do you get from 8 to 14? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many did we add? You were so smart, friends. We added 6. Okay, so now I think I see. First I added 2, then I added 4, then I added 6. What do you think that we're gonna add next? If it was 2, then 4, then 6. Yes, we're gonna add on 8. Let's see, 14 plus 8, is that 22? So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think we found our pattern rule, friends. So if it was 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, what would be next? You were so smart. 10. So 22 plus 10 is 32. All right. So if we added 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, what would we add next to extend the pattern? We're so smart, friends. You're right. We would add 12. So what is 32 plus 12? You're doing a great job. 32 plus 12 would be 44. It's okay if some of you at home need to use scrap paper in order to practice adding some of these numbers together, because I don't have all these numbers always memorized in my brain. I try to remember some of our basic facts like our doubles and ways to make 10, but it's okay if you need to use some scratch paper at home. I always encourage my friends to use scratch paper, solve your problem, write it down. This way it helps us to not make any mistakes, and it also lets your teacher know how you were thinking and how you solved your problem. Okay, so now if we added 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, then 12, how many are we gonna add this time? You're right, we're gonna add 14. So 44 plus 14, what is that going to give me? I have to write a little bit smaller. My numbers are getting smushed. Wow, I heard a friend say 58. You guys are so smart. So we added 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, then 12. What's next? We're gonna add on 16, right? We're going up by 2s each time. So what is 58 plus 16? I'm gonna do it on my little Post-it next to me here. So I can show that I'm showing my work too by using scratch paper. 58 plus 16. Okay. I always, when I have 2-digit numbers like this, I always stack them up so it makes it easier for my brain to make sense of it. So 8 plus 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 4, then I carry my 1, and 5 plus 1, 2 is 5, 6, 7. So 58 and 16 is 74. Nice job. Okay, then we have to add on 18, right? Because that's 2 more than 16. So now we're gonna do it again. 74 plus 18. I stacked it. I'm adding 8 and 4, 8 and 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I put that 2 in the ones column. I carry my 10 over. And what is 7 plus 2? 7, 8, 9. That gives us an answer of 92. Nice job. If you're not feeling super confident with 2-digit addition right now, that's totally fine. We'll get back to that more later. We're just kind of practicing going over some of the numbers, patterns, and rules that we're dealing with right now. So don't worry if the 2-digit addition is a little bit tricky for you. All right, we have, what, 2 more numbers we need to add on to? So it was 18 was the last one. So 20 is our next one, right? Because we're adding 2 each time. So what is 92 plus 20? Again, I stack my problem. and I add my ones column first. 2 and 0 is 2. Nice job. We don't have to carry over this time because 2 is just 2 little ones. We only need to carry over when it's over 10. So then I add 9 and 2. 9, 10, 11 gives me, so I write down that 11 gives me an answer of, nice job, friends, 112. And lastly, I'm going to add on 22. Wow, our numbers are really starting to get big, aren't they? We added 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now I'm going to add on 22. So 112 plus 22. And I made sure that my tens or my ones are lined up, my tens are lined up, and then I've got that space for my hundreds there. So now we're getting even higher into a 3-digit number. Okay, 2 and 2, but we just solve it the same way. We're gonna start with the 2 over here. 2 and 2 is 4. Then 2 plus 1 is what? You guys are awesome, 3. And then I just bring my 1 down because there's no number here in the hundreds place. So what's our answer? 134. Woo, our numbers really got big there. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a hint. The next one, I stole it and put it on my chart. Let's see if you recognize it. So we're on number 5, and it is 100, 90, 70, 40. I'm gonna give you a second. Where do you see that on our chart? 100, 90, 70, 40. You guys are awesome. Decreasing, growing. It's right here. We were decreasing each time, 10, 20, 30. So the next one, we took away 40. And this one only has one little line to extend because when you take 40 away from 40, you get 0. Okay, nice job. And this last one is a good shape one, and we're going to end with this here today. All right, so it's circle, square, circle, circle, square, circle, circle, circle. What comes next? You guys are so smart. Square, and at first it was 1 circle, then 2, then 3. So our next one is 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'd end with another square, and you'd add on 5 circles after that. Okay, friends, thanks for all your hard work. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.